Hey everyone, welcome back to Dorks Plays the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve.
Yeah.
The resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
We go. Oh,
Before
yeah,
we
best
begin
thing.
today, I have a brief announcement. As with the closed trial 10 years ago, some astonishing facts have come to light in these proceedings. The revelation of the well-known Reaper is actually an organization illegally executing its own brand of justice. And the discovery that a respected yard inspector was at its heart until he himself perished in an assassination plot. Well, I say to all members of the judiciary here present on this occasion, that we will stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth behind these disturbing findings. Counsels, you will undertake this trial with the resolve to pursue the truth to the bitter end.
Resolve. Yes. That's my intention.
My lord, if I may inquire. The defendant may speak. On what grounds is Kazuma Asogi permitted to continue in his role as prosecutor? He has admitted to colluding with the victim in a plot to assassinate an innocent man. He shouldn't be enjoying the privilege of freedom, let alone be leading the prosecution. I submit a written petition to Lord Strongheart, requesting that judging my transgressions be delayed by 1 day. You did what? In today's proceedings, I intend to expose everything. My whole life for the last 10 years has all been leading up to this 1 day.
Kazuma.
Whatever the outcome of this trial, I give my word that I will accept whatever punishment is deemed appropriate, however severe. And I suggest you prepare yourself for the same, Reaper.
Kazuma's bristling with hostility today. I get the distinct impression we're heading into a very dangerous territory.
Is that really even Kazuma-sama standing before us? As an extreme exception to normal practices, I have granted this prosecutor's request. The defense find this acceptable, I presume.
Yes, my lord.
In that case, in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the closed hearing of Baroque von Zeeks.
The defense is ready, my lord.
The prosecution is more than ready. Very well then. This preamble has taken long enough. Prosecutor Asogi, begin. As you wish, my lord. The prosecution calls the first witness to the stand. Bring Seishiro Jigoku into the courtroom.
At last, then, we've reached the final battle. He's putting literally everything on the line now in order to get to the truth. Come on, Ryunosuke. It's time for that steely resolve, because this is going to test it to the limit.
Witness, state your name and occupation for the court.
So it was you who issued this, was it?
Your subpoena. I did what was necessary.
Well, look what the young man has become. I didn't think I'd see the day when you take that tone with me, I must say.
The witness will ensure his responses are pertinent to the questions asked.
My name is Seishiro Jigoku, a Supreme Court judge from the Empire of Japan.
16 years ago, this man came to London as a visiting student. 6 years later, he returned to Japan. As well as presiding over the Supreme Court, he is also currently Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. I am of course fully aware of Mr. Jigoku and his preeminent roles. I invited him personally to the International Forensic Science Symposium as a representative of his country. I hear he also played a key role in the conclusion of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation.
It was a great honor to be involved in the negotiations. I put my all into that treaty. Judge Jikoku, I must ask. Well, I never. Fancy the young murdering student turned up here of all places. You acquitted me yourself. And now, I'm a practicing defense lawyer. Yes, and I'm full of self-importance like your friend across the courtroom, I see. You came here to London by invitation to the International Forensic Science Symposium. But then, without informing anyone of your plans, you took a flight to France.
Whew.
I know that I was about to answer.
Wrong, Judge.
It's like, well, took flight. I'd have to object to that turn of phrase. Then explain yourself. What exactly were the circumstances? Well, I was somewhat expecting this, and I'm sorry to say, I decline to comment.
You what?
What? Leaving the country prematurely when I was invited, an invited guest may be questionable etiquette. But my decision is unrelated to this case. I cannot be bound to testify.
Unrelated, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Unrelated, you say? No one's buying it, Jigoku!
I appreciate that a respected police inspector has been killed, for which I offer my condolences. However, being an alien, I'd obviously never met the man. That fell. Sorry about that. Is everything okay?
Yeah, you're still here.
Okay, good. I thought I unplugged for a second. Stay! Don't move. However, being an alien, I obviously never met the man, nor do I know the first thing about him. As such, I am in no position to testify. It's as simple as that.
BS! I mean, objection!
What did you say?
So you'd run from all this?
I beg your pardon.
This case is more far-reaching than the murder of Inspector Gregson. It has ties to another murder, a case that was tried in Japan almost a year ago now. A year ago in Japan. The murder of Dr. John H. Wilson, you mean?
That's right. And you, Judge Jikoku, are at the heart of both cases.
Interesting.
The defense has evidence to prove it.
Well, Ryunosuke, I see from the look of your eyes that you're resolved to carry this through to the very end, too. Let's see your evidence, then. What proof do you have that Seishiro Jigoku is involved in this case?
Take that!
What on earth is that?
It's a doohickey. This piece of evidence is a welcome present to the courthouse, with the compliments of the defense.
You have a poor grasp of British court etiquette, counsel. That's the extent of your resolve. You disappoint me, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Ah!
Wrong evidence! I was curious what would happen if you did that here. Stand tall, Mr. Naruhodo. That was a minor blow.
Having your best friend tell you he's disappointed in you really stings, though.
Does it? Hey, Patu.
Hmm?
I'm really disappointed in you.
I can live with that. Most people are.
No!
Let's keep going.
No!
It's alright. But of course, we have evidence that ties Judge Jikoku to this case. Evidence showing a few key names, even.
The game's like, please present this piece of evidence. My goodness, dummy. Good.
Come on.
You're still playing a fight in your eyes. Let's see your evidence then. What proof do you have that Seishiro Jikoku is involved in this case? And that would be this.
Take that!
Wait. Huh? Oh, whoops. Hey,
Wait,
don't
it
mind
isn't?
me. I second guessed myself.
I thought that was it, though.
No, it was a telegram.
Huh. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a telegram detailing a communication sent between Britain and Japan approximately 1 year ago. The communication contained 4 names: Keiasugi, Eishin, T. Gregson, and J. Wilson. What? You, little. Where did you get that? In Tokyo. From your office, Judge Jikoku. What? How on earth did you?
What's this all about? Why is my name on that list?
The list of 4 names follows a certain pattern. T. Gregson and J. Wilson are the names of victims. Keiasuke and Eishin are the names of assassins.
No.
A year ago in Tokyo, Dr. John H. Wilson's life was taken in a Western-style restaurant in the capital.
Oh, that was our first case.
The culprit was found to be visiting the student who went by the name of Giselle Brett. But her real name was Asashin, a professional killer sent on a mission to kill from Great Britain.
Eishin, her victim, J. Wilson.
And the murder just took place here in London was the counterpart to that crime. An assassin sent from Japan, also a visiting student, Kazuma Asugi, whose victim was the British police inspector Tobias Gregson.
Keiasuke and T. Gregson. One assassin from each country to kill a target residing in the other. What exactly is the defense suggesting?
These 2 cases of murder, one that took place in Britain and one in Japan, were masterminded by a pair of individuals from each country as a form of assassin exchange. In the telegram, the defense has acquired is proof of this international contract to kill.
What?
Boy, you're going to die. I think. Kinda. You were, anyway. The telegram was found in your office, Judge Jikoku. In other words, the mastermind in Japan was you. Oh, wow.
Someone's looking a little unhappy right now.
He looks like he is ready to rip me apart.
Looks like he's ready to kill Just
Oh,
Jikoku. What's this all about?
And you, Kazuma, you lied.
Only in bed.
During yesterday's proceedings, you acknowledged that you accepted the assassination mission. The mark wasn't Judge Jikoku at all. It was T. Gregson, Detective Inspector of Scotland Yard. As shown by the name of the killing contract, or on the killing contract.
Very impressive, Ryunosuke. But actually, I didn't lie. The names of the target I was ordered to kill never passed my lips yesterday. The idea that Seishiro Jigoku was the mark came entirely from you.
You deliberately avoided saying a name? Ugh.
The defense claims these four names indicate some sort of international assassins exchange. I'm sure I speak for all present when I say that the very idea seems utterly absurd. Well, Mr. Jigoku, what do you have to say for yourself?
Nothing. His silence only goes to prove his guilt.
There's another very important point that this new development brings to light. There's now a distinct possibility that the scene of Inspector Gregson's actual murder was in the witness's cabin aboard the SS Grouse.
Look at the grouse. Judge Jigoku, you have to testify now. To refuse will put you in contempt of court.
He's like, I know what that means.
I know, and I don't want to do it, so There's no need for quite such a vicious stare, young man.
Said the man who had quite such a vicious stare on himself. Like,
I mean,
right now.
Very well, then. And as a parting gift to you all, I'll tell you everything what does that mean?
It seems this Japanese gentleman has information the court must hear about the alleged assassin exchange and the events of the night of the 31st October. Present your formal testimony now.
I don't want to. As you wish, my lord.
Whoopsie. Wrong button.
It's true that Kazuma Asuki was assigned the assassination mission 1 year ago now. The target was Inspector T. Gregson. That was a condition of the British study tour. However, in the end, something happened that meant the young man was unable to carry out his mission. In the evening in question, a member of the crew was on duty outside my cabin at all times.
All times.
All times.
Doesn't that strike you a little weird?
I mean, no person would be assigned... I mean, I guess, like, assigned to duty outside of a cabin at all times. You'd probably take shifts, but...
Well, especially
just
at 10
constantly
p.m.
be
when
there.
they hit Port of Dunkirk.
Yeah.
All
would
the
they
crew
be,
were
like,
out for
on the
20
leave?
minutes.
They would be. Yeah. Yeah,
So all
it would.
times it's impossible.
Bro, you
You
lied!
bold-faced liar!
We gotta shave all your hair off. If there had been a shot fired, the crewmen would have heard it, so clearly I can't be involved.
That
Bro,
testimony
you're
holds
supposed to
less
be a
water than a bucket full of holes.
So you admit it then, as this communication suggests. There really was an assassin exchange agreement between Britain and Japan. A political endeavor at the highest levels, not something I can discuss here.
To use such a worthy practice as foreign state to coerce somebody to commit murder. It's the most appalling thing I've ever heard.
Appalling. Well, it's easy to judge.
Pardon?
Asuki had a reason for taking his sword to that British inspector, you know.
Oh yeah?
He did. What? Which is why he accepted the mission in the first place. Isn't that right, Council?
Kazuma-sama.
Judge Jikoku, if you are the mastermind behind this operation in Japan, then tell the court the identity of your counterpart in Britain.
I mean, like he's going to do that.
I don't know if I don't think people will do that, but okay. I'm not obliged to divulge that information.
But Patu, who is it? Who is the counterpart to Jigoku?
I still think his Waska is what's his name? Strongheart. Sorry,
You think it's Smail's Strongheart?
I still think it is, because he wants justice done to those types of criminals, like, too bad.
True, but considering he's like, I want to get to the truth of all this. I don't know.
I honestly have no idea. I still think it is, but I don't know. That's probably like super wrong though.
As I said yesterday, I've killed nobody. I freely admit that I accepted the mission, but on the night the plan was to be executed, I backed out. In short, this assassin exchanged the defenses identified as unrelated to the events of this case.
The crucial point is this. Your police inspector can't have perished aboard that steamship in Dunkirk. Because if he had been shot in the cabin, it's inconceivable that a member of the crew wouldn't have heard it.
But we know that's not true.
Yeah.
That's right. Gregson was killed after returning to London, in the room on Fresno Street. Nope.
No, because we now know about the whole freezer thing, too.
Mm-hmm. And the perpetrator of the crime was the Reaper, Baruch von Zieks.
I like to think like Baruch's just saying like, could you lay off that? I didn't kill him.
The prosecution's accusation remains unchanged. You're lucky I called you the right name this time. To think that a seemingly innocent foreign exchange program was a facade for such Machiavellian designs. Clearly it's a plot only a government minister and high-ranking judge such as the witness could hope to execute.
Well, I seem to recall that it was someone on the British side who controlled everything.
Be that as it may, it is not the place of this court to pursue the villainous assassin exchange plot. We are concerned only with the tangible events pertaining to the murder of Inspector Gregson. Is the defense clear on that point, counsel?
Yes, my lord. I'll keep that in mind as I cross-examine the witness.
You had better.
I probably won't, though. I'm just saying, like, Ryunosuke is just, like, I gotta know, man.
All times. Well,
Now-
explain this
now-
away,
now-
Jigoku! Aha!
Bruh, what about this? Yes, as the court has heard, there was a crewman posted outside Judge Shikoku's cabin. However, we can be sure that, contrary to the witness's claim, the guard wasn't there at all times.
What?
I have here a notice of a particular event that was scheduled to take place aboard the steamship on the 31st. Where did you get that?
From Mr. Sholmes. You can thank him yourself when you're in jail.
Doggone it. It's evidence gathered by Mr. Herlock Sholmes. You were acquainted yesterday, if you remember. Herlock Sholmes again.
He's a thorn in everyone's side, including ours sometimes.
Yeah, but he means to do that intentionally, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, according to this itinerary, after leaving the port of Dunkirk at exactly 10 p.m., and for a period of 20 minutes, all crewmen of the SS Grouse were to gather on deck for an evacuation drill.
All crewmen were away from their posts?
That's what the man said. He said that.
He did say that.
And during that 20-minute interval, of course, any gunshot emanating from your cabin would have been heard by no one.
He's like, how do I lie myself out of this one?
You should start by telling the truth so you don't lie. In summary, Judge Jigoku, you had ample opportunity to commit the crime.
Objection.
What?
A 20-minute window of opportunity. That's an excellent find, Ryunosuke. But it amounts to nothing.
Why?
Yeah, why, actually?
Yeah,
Oh.
why?
Because the witness clearly stated in his testimony that no incident occurred in his... Oh yeah, he couldn't be lying about that at all.
But,
He
Bro.
clearly said that nothing happened. So based on that, nothing. I mean, we don't have evidence. Well, we do, but anyway.
That's silly.
Unless you have some decisive evidence that can show his testimony to be false. We do! Sholmes and Mikatova found it. We were like, why is it here? Your accusation is nothing more than conjecture.
But we have it, though.
Very true. Well, Counsel.
Inspector Gregson was killed in Judge Jigoku's cabin that night. I'm certain of it. Because the defense has evidence to prove it.
You will present the evidence for the defense at once, Counsel. What
Okay.
proof do you have that the victim's life was taken in Judge Jigoku's cabin on the 31st October?
Take that!
This. Look at it! Judge Jigoku, this was found at your cabin yesterday.
What is that? The crown of a pocket watch? Who would break a pocket watch? I'll break them in half.
Oh, snap. Pocket watch?
Yes, it's a watch that stays in your pocket. That's why they call them pocket watches. They don't call it a pocket watch because it's not a watch that goes in your pocket. They call it a pocket watch because it's a watch that goes in your pocket.
Unless it was a wallet watch, then that would go in your wallet.
Yeah, that's true.
And, if you will observe, the victim's pocket watch, which we know he treasured, is missing precisely that part.
It can't be.
Moreover, this crown is a perfect fit on the spindle protruding from the victim's watch. Now, the fact that this was retrieved from Judge Shikoku's cabin tells us that the victim's watch almost certainly broke there. Grrr. In other words, the victim was killed on 31st during the 20-minute evacuation drill, and the cabin occupied by you, Judge Shikoku.
That face is like, oh snap!
Oh, I'm definitely not gonna get out of this one.
You're a horrible liar and a terrible murderer? Maybe? Question mark?
Maybe. I still don't know if he did it, but I'm not sure. Well, you're razor sharp, aren't you, you young murderer?
We didn't kill anyone! You even said that we're not guilty, like forever ago! Expertly maneuvered, Ryunosuke. And your argument sounds entirely plausible. At first. But rather like this pocket watch, it's full of cracks. See what I did there?
What?
And I believe Judge Jigoku feels the same way. He's smiling now.
I was wrong to acquit you earlier in the year.
No, you weren't! We didn't kill Wilson!
Sorry? If I'd known that it would result in anyone having to listen to this drivel, I would have declared you guilty just to spare the world your ridiculous bombast.
Well, that's me.
Hey!
I think
Very
it's
rude,
clear
sir.
that the witness will have to give further testimony.
When you hear what actually happened in my cabin that night, you'll notice the pitfall into which you've stumbled.
He's like, okay, what lie can I build to make sure it doesn't unravel? Even though a lie always unravels.
I gotta find something.
Prior to renewed testimony, I would like to clarify one point.
Yeah.
The fact that this part of the victim's watch was discovered in your cabin means that you acknowledge he was there, I presume.
Yes, I do.
Very well then.
SpaghettiOs.
You may proceed to give your formal testimony about what exactly happened in your cabin aboard the ship on the evening of the 31st October.
Of course. And as a man of the law, I have no intention of obstructing justice, except for when I did that before.
I was gonna say, like, you what?
Alright. What kind of mess are you gonna feed us now? I had a guest waiting for me when I returned to my cabin after finishing my evening meal in the dining room. When I walked through the door, a mustachio Englishman was there, foolishly waving a gun at me. As soon as I took care of him with an Ippon Seo throw, I soon took care of him with an Ippon Seo throw, though. He couldn't wait to run away after that. I imagine his watch was broken when I threw him over my shoulder, but it was nothing to do with his murder. The inspector was clearly killed having returned to Britain, because his body was found in London.
You sure about that?
I don't know.
Is it really clearly?
I don't think so.
Ippon Seoi.
I come in jujitsu martial arts technique in my country, and I was careful not to use it too much force, but the man obviously landed too heavily for his watch to take.
So, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I imagine you can see the flaw in your logic now, can't you? No? No, not really.
What are you talking about?
The fact that the pocket watch was broken in the witness's cabin in no way proves the victim's murder took place there.
I've no doubt the inspector intended to kill me, but he didn't manage to pull the trigger. Yes, he did. We saw the bullet hole. Yes.
That is true.
Yeah.
Although, we don't know if Gregson fired the gun either. We just know that a shot was fired.
We know he had his gun, because he said he was waving around, but somebody else probably could have been watching the whole thing and then maybe shot.
Yes,
I don't know.
Because he was merely the tactician, not the Reaper's Hand of Death. That's Baruch von Zieks. No, it's not!
Well, the testimony appears to make perfect sense as far as I can tell.
Let me express my deep gratitude for your understanding, my lord. But if this testimony holds, Judge Jikoku will be deemed to have no involvement in this case.
Well, counsel, I really see no reason for wasting precious court time here on a cross-examination.
Sorry, my lord. The defense has a right to cross-examine, and I don't intend to squander that. You're an embarrassment to your countrymen, not knowing when you're beaten.
In that case, proceed, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh boy.
Alright, we need to press that last statement. Clearly killed, huh?
Alright. But there's no evidence that proves the victim ever returned to London alive. Just take a moment to think that idea of yours through now, Stripling. What? If the inspector was killed on the steamship in France, how on earth could he have got back to Britain? When people die, their bodies remain at that same spot. It is a devil of a thing. Well, then, obviously the culprit must have moved the body. How exactly? I like that smile. It's like, how? Tell me. Carrying a corpse up and shipping your arms would raise a few eyebrows at least, don't you think? I mean, that is true, unless he was concealed in one of those fridges.
Well, he would still need to have that body moved into a room.
That is true.
You can't take a fridge with you. But
No.
didn't
but
we
you can
see something recently that was able to hold Jigoku?
Yeah, I mean, he could be inside of one of those like carrying cases, like that trunk. It could fit a person in there. And plus, since he's dead, you can like shove it in however you want to.
You don't think...
That was his body in there?
I mean, it held this mountain of a man.
I mean, that is true. Well, we would have saw... Oh, I don't know. We only saw him curled up in there. I was gonna say, like, we should have checked for blood or something, like, as soon as he got out. But, I don't know. Well, yes, that's true, but...
All passengers' luggage is inspected when it is unloaded from arriving vessels. And I would like to think that border police would query the corpse of an English gentleman as hand luggage. If the murder had taken place aboard a ship, you would imagine the body would have been disposed of at sea. There'd be no sense in risking being caught by attempting to transport the body back to Britain.
Let's kill that idea then.
But perhaps not.
Mrs. Sato?
We've heard that the first-class passengers were under constant scrutiny by the crewmen posted to guard them. Which would mean that the culprit had no opportunity to dispose of the body in the sea.
Yes, that's true. So transporting the body to Britain may have been the only viable alternative. Dear me, you really are new to this, aren't you?
No.
I had a few cases. A beer. I thought I'd been perfectly clear, but it seems I'm going to have to explain it in words you can understand. Hey! I think I ought to alter my testimony. With your consent, of course, my lord.
I have no objection. State your amended testimony now.
There's no possible way I could have transported the victim's corpse back to Britain.
But we know there's a way.
I do.
If we didn't find you in it, though, we probably wouldn't have thought about it.
Objection.
There's no possible way you could have moved Inspector Gregson's body, you say? I would say the opposite is true. And what's that supposed to mean? Far from being impossible for you to do, the transporting of Inspector Gregson's body back to Britain is something only you could do.
What are you talking about, Ryunosuke?
As well as being a judge, Mr. Jikoku is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. Which means he's exempt from having his luggage searched when he enters the country.
In fact, Mikotoba did mention that back at the Waterloo Hotel.
That is true. We learned that when we first met you upon your arrival in London.
Well, all those passport checks and luggage searches at the border took rather a lot of time. I must say I'm very envious of your ministerial status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you?
I knew you were jealous.
And just think, Gregson's body's just chilling back there.
What's that weird smell? Oh, that's me. I haven't showered.
Ew.
It's gross. And I presume you recall this, Judge Jikoku? It's a photograph we took in the foyer at the hotel to mark the occasion.
Here, look at this photograph.
Look at this photograph! As the court will note, you have with you your large travel trunk. Large enough, in fact, to have a corpse inside.
Mr. Naruhodo, surely you're not suggesting...
I'm afraid I am, yes. 3 days ago, when we were chatting innocently with the new arrivals from Japan in the hotel, the body of Inspector Gregson was just was it meters or metries? Oh, that's weird. Meters away from us, inside Judge Jikoku's trunk. Ugh!
Order, order, order in court! I'm skeptical, counsel, that a grown man's body could fit inside even the largest travel trunk.
It could. Because I happen to know the witness himself, a man of considerable size, fits inside his trunk. And verifying that would be extremely simple, wouldn't it, Judge Jikoku?
But inside his trunk? How horrifying.
I know, you can never get the smell out.
Ugh.
And after we've spoken with you at the Great Waterloo Hotel, you had the opportunity to visit the apparent scene on Fresno Street, taking your trunk with you in a cab to dispose of the inspector's body.
Deposit.
Oh, deposit. I don't have to listen to this nonsense.
Well, actually, you do, and it's not nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, technically you didn't object to any of it. Dr. Gory, the coroner who examined the body, has confirmed the possibility. She acknowledged that there are signs that steps may have been taken to disguise the true time of death. The onset of the body's decomposition would have been delayed by storing it in a refrigerator.
Counsel, as I remember explaining yesterday, refrigerators of the requisite size are few and far between.
Yes, I'm sure they are. But one place they're certainly found is on large ocean liners. Such ships are equipped with electrically refrigerated cold rooms to keep food fresh on their long sea voyages. And the SS Cros is no exception. Professor Mikotoba told me about it yesterday. Well, Judge Jikoku? However much you prolong this debate, you can't eliminate the truth. All the evidence points to you being the killer. Well, this is all very heartening. And I can see that it was a wise move, letting Ryunosuke and you embark on the study tour.
What are you talking about now?
Logical reasoning, of course. All court proceedings will be built on logical reasoning in the new century. And I can see that you both laid firm foundations for that already.
Judge Jigoku, please! Stop diverting attention from the issue at hand! The defense has made an accusation against you. How do you respond?
Respond? There's really no need for me to respond, is there?
Why ever not?
Because before you can even begin to answer the question of which victim was killed.
When?
Oh, when the victim was killed, you must first establish one key fact. Where was the victim killed? It's quite logical. The actual scene of the crime.
The prosecution's stance is unaltered. The killing took place on Fresno Street, when the gunshot was heard. As the accused, Baruch von Zeke shot the victim at point-blank range.
Since no tangible evidence exists to disprove the prosecution's claim at this time, the defense's deductions amount to little more than an elaborate fairy tale.
I'm afraid that's how logical reasoning the British are known for really works, young Striker. The victim was shot in that little room on Fresno Street and died instantly. I'm afraid it's the prosecution's claim that that's only a fairy tale, and that's the only fairy tale here.
How can you say that?
Quite simply.
I move my lips and I make my voice box go blah, blah, blah.
We go blah 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 blah. Because the claim directly contradicts a certain piece of evidence in our possession.
Very tantalizing, counsel. I think you'd better explain yourself to the court, don't you?
The prosecution claims the Inspector Gregson died instantly when he was shot at the scene on Fresno Street. But this evidence clearly contradicts that claim. Which one was it?
It's in here. There we go.
Ah.
A photograph of the victim in the very location you claim he wasn't killed?
Yes, but the point is, the posture of the body itself. If Inspector Gregson had been shot there in that room, it's out of the question that his body would have been curled up in a ball like that.
Ah, that's true.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but your logic is flawed.
No, your logic is flawed.
You're flawed, mister. Could easily have adopted that fetal position due to the pain of the shot, which subsequently proved fatal.
Objection!
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Judge Jikoku, but it's your logic that is flawed. What? Say that again to my face. According to this autopsy report, the victim died instantly. He would have felt no pain, much less have been able to draw himself into that position. Which begs the question of why the victim's body is curled up in that way. Though the answer should be abundantly clear by now.
You're suggesting...
The inspector's body took on that posture ahead of its arrival on Fresno Street. Before it was coldly turned out on the floor from the inside of the large travel trunk.
No! You're quite right. The shape of the body. It looks exactly as if it had been kept in a confined space.
Oh dear. Judge Jikoku, present your trunk for examination. I believe it's very possible that it will contain traces of the victim's blood. Ugh! Present my trunk. I refuse.
Oh, so you're admitting you're guilty. Gotcha. Just making sure.
Can't do that.
What?
On what grounds? Because I don't want to.
Basically.
I'm the Minister of Foreign Affairs from the Empire of Japan. I shouldn't have to put up with this treatment just because of some strikingly baseless accusations.
In other words, Judge Jigoku, there is blood in your trunk.
I decline to answer that.
Oh, so you are guilty. Okay, just making
No,
sure.
I'm not. You can't make me. As the Minister of Foreign Affairs, I have to... Oh,
You have to shut up.
at this moment, you're not a government minister.
Ooh.
You're witness in a trial in Britain's highest court.
Snap!
I know my law. I don't care who you are or what your status outside this courtroom might be. You will not withhold information. Nothing is more important than the truth. Dang. Ryunosuke. Woo!
Order in the court. Well, Mr. Jigoku, what's it to be?
Oh.
You can't be serious. You did it?
Oh. Ooh. Have you no shame at all, Cosmos?
What?
Very well. I admit it. I did bring the inspector's body into the country. Inside my trunk, exactly as postulated by the defense. What?
You...
Dear God, outrageous.
So it was you! You meant the inspector... Oh. No! I meant to nothing more than what I've said. Of killing the man, I certainly have no recollection.
Oh, how convenient.
Wow.
What on earth is that cryptic statement supposed to mean?
Hit him with your staff. I'll make him talk.
That might kill him.
Oh, I merely disposed of the inspector's body, which was left in my cabin.
Why would you bother disposing of it?
Because it's icky sticky and it's gross. In order to avoid unwanted attention, you should have just told somebody then. Instead of saying, hey, there's a dead man in my room when I came back. As the judicial assistant over there pointed out, I had no chance to throw it into the ocean. So, I decided my only option was to bring it into Britain with me and dispose of it somewhere else. That still is weird. You can't still deny it. If you didn't do it, then who on earth did kill the man? As you know, there was one other person in my cabin that night. He had the opportunity. And moreover, he had already accepted a mission to take the inspector's life.
Oh.
That's right, who else could it have been? It was you, Kazuma Asuki.
You.
No, that couldn't be, because he has a bullet hole in it. He had a sword.
I never thought you'd stoop to this, Seishiro Jigoku.
You've taken the words straight out of my mouth, Prosecutor Kazuma Asugi. You thought by leaving the body in my cabin you could pin the crime on me, did you?
Well, the prosecution counsel has already admitted to visiting the witness's cabin on the night in question.
Yes, on an assassination mission, no less.
You wouldn't.
I would?
You couldn't.
I could too,
You shouldn't.
but I will. So what do you make of that, young stripling? You've heard my testimony now, and that's all I have to say on the matter. I'll admit to nothing more.
I don't believe this.
I don't believe it either. I think he's still lying.
Counsel for the defense.
No, he's clearly telling the truth. What are you talking about?
What is your position now? The court awaits your response to the witness's assertion. The assertion that on the night in question, the victim's assailant was in fact Mr. Kazuma Asugi.
This isn't a dead end, it seems to be. The answer's right in front of me. It comes down to Jigoku, or Kazuma. Both of them had the opportunity to kill Gregson, but only one of them did it. And I'm just a step away from proving who. Very well. The defense is ready to respond to the assertion put forward by Judge Jigoku. The idea that the victim's murder could have been committed by Prosecutor Asugi is impossible.
You know it.
Yeah, he doesn't use a gun. Yet, Jigoku, let me remind you of something you said only a few moments ago. You claimed that logical reasoning is the future of the judicial process. It is, no question. Well, logical reasoning can prove something here. Namely, that it would have been impossible for Prosecutor Asugi to commit the crime. What?
The court will only accept an argument that is supported by compelling evidence. So present what you have, counsel. What proof is there that allegedly demonstrates the impossibility of Prosecutor Asugi's involvement?
Take that!
This itinerary for crew members on the SS Cros, my lord. This is conclusive proof.
An itinerary? How does that prove anything?
Judge Jigoku, the moment you acknowledged that you found the victim's body in your cabin, this itinerary suddenly became much more significant. What? Why? On the night in question, as always, a crewman sentry was on guard outside your cabin door. As long as he was there, nobody could have fired a shot inside the cabin.
Absolutely. Because it's inconceivable that the guard wouldn't have heard it and come to investigate.
So that tells us that the crime must have taken place when the guard was elsewhere. And that narrows it down to the 20 minutes just after the 10 o'clock, as indicated on the itinerary.
Yes, I see no flaw in your reasoning so far.
But the crucial point is this: when the evacuation drill took place, the steamship had already... let me try that again. The steamship had already put to sea from the port of Dunkirk. Now, clearly the murder could only have been committed by somebody who was aboard the vessel at the time. And Prosecutor Asugi stated in yesterday's proceedings,
I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life. So I left Gregson and disembarked the ship. I spent that night at a boarding house in the town, and returned to England the following morning.
which I'm sure the court will agree is conclusive proof, that Kazuma Asugi couldn't possibly have carried out the killing. No! Absolutely not! I don't accept that at all! What do you mean? The boy's just saying that to exonerate himself. We can't trust that he really disembarked the vessel.
Well, surely it'd be easy enough to prove.
I mean, obviously he left my cabin and hid himself somewhere nearby on the ship. Just waiting for his chance to come back to finish the... Shut up. No, that's out of the question. Isn't it, Kazuma?
As the defense rightly recalls, I disembarked the vessel and spent the night in a boarding house in Dunkirk. And as I said yesterday, I signed my name in the accommodations register book. Kyutaro Kujo. All extremely easily to verify, and undeniable proof.
No, You what? There's no escape this time.
I don't have a conceivable lie to throw out at this point.
No, wait, just give me a few more minutes. I got a book somewhere with these things. You could forget that you're a judge or a government minister. It's time you gave the court an honest answer, as a common man. You killed Inspector Tobias Gregson and transported his corpse back to Britain. Then you dumped the body in the room on Fresno Street and made it look as if the murder had happened there.
Ooh.
That's what really happened, isn't it? Seishiro Jikoku. It was that darn trial 10 years ago. That's when all this began. Looking back now, my fate was decided that day. I was doomed already. Ooh!
He destroyed the witness bench again?
Oh!
You did this like 10 years ago, dude.
It's over. My life is over.
It sure is. It's literally your fault.
Why would you do that? Who's this?
I believe this is Jigoku still talking.
Oh, a British assassin to eliminate a professor in Japan. A Japanese assassin to eliminate a detective in Britain. Both assassins will use diplomatic immunity to evade conviction and return safely to their homelands. The assassin exchange request arrived from Britain about 1 year ago. Though it was hardly a request, it was a demand. And for that, he decided to recruit Mr. Asugi. But things didn't go according to plan. Your chosen assassin never made it to Britain. And you found yourself unable to dispatch a replacement. Because I was already on my way to Britain at that time in Cosmo's place. And that left me with only one option for carrying out my obligation. To eliminate the mark myself, personally. Of course, there was but a single opportunity for me to do that. The International Forensic Science Symposium, I presume.
Yeah, or IFS for short.
That was the very biggest ifs. And that's right. And I decided it would be safest to carry out the plan before my arrival in Britain. So I enlisted the help of my British counterpart. And made arrangements for a pretext that would take the inspector to Dunkirk. To lure the man in, he was given a sham mission by the Reaper. What? The Reaper?
But there's only one person who could have done that. The mastermind of the entire operation. The Reaper himself. So, that means that the assassin exchange was... It was all planned by the Reaper.
I'm not at liberty to say anything about my British counterpart. Anyway, the inspector accepted the Reaper's mission and dutifully infiltrated my cabin on the steamship. But it was all a trap designed to lead him to France and his own death.
Oh, how awful.
It was past 9 o'clock when I returned to my cabin from the dining hall that evening. I didn't give him time to attack me. I choked him until he lost consciousness. But there was a guard just outside the door, so I left it at that for the time being. Even the slightest noise might arouse suspicion, so I bided my time, waiting. Another 20 minutes after the 10 o'clock, I had intended to finish him by strangulation. But moments before I had the chance, he suddenly came around and went for me in a reckless move. I had received a British-issued gun 16 years earlier, being a member of the judiciary as a visiting student. I never imagined I'd have to use it for something like that.
So that gun, the crime scene, that was yours then.
Oh.
That's why Von Zeeks had no idea what it, whose it was.
Yeah, I dropped it, but that's not mine though. I put my name on it.
So the revolver belongs to you, does it?
Then the victim was killed inside your cabin on the SS Grouse. Which begs the question of why you arranged it for its body to be discovered in the room on Fresno Street. The young judicial assistant over there has already answered that question. There was no way I could take the body up on the deck and throw it over the side. That's precisely where all the crewmen were gathered for the evacuation drill. So before the first-class cabin sentries returned, I took the corpse to the refrigeration room. And on arriving in Dover, you concealed the body in your trunk in order to smuggle it past the port police. I knew I needed to take steps that the police were to be convinced when the body was found in London.
In that case, you must have known. You must have had intimate details of Inspector Gregson's intended schedule.
Don't say it like that.
Intimate.
Yes. Yes. My British counterpart sent me everything I needed to know. The inspector was due at Fresno Street at 5 o'clock that afternoon.
I mean, who doesn't have a Tobias Gregson body pillow? That's all I'm saying.
Somebody out there probably does.
Probably.
In order to meet a man by the name of Hugh Boone, from who he would take back his police identification. I decided that man would be perfect person to set up as the culprit. So I took a hackney carriage over there with the body still in my trunk. That must have been just after we took this photograph with you at the hotel then. Yes, I wasn't expecting a welcoming committee. I was more than a little nervous.
You don't look nervous. Over you're tired. Ryunosuke looks nervous.
Bruh, I don't want to be standing by this guy. On Fresno Street, I spotted a young girl selling little firecrackers. Miss Venus, of course. I conceived of the candle trick there and then. So I donned a simple disguise and approached the girl to buy enough firecrackers to replicate a gunshot.
What sort of disguise?
A war dress. For some reason, the inspector had the bright red hairpiece on his own traveling case.
So you were wearing this.
Oh. So I put that on. Although I suspect I drew more attention to myself than I would have otherwise.
The hairpiece we found at the scene. The inspector had it ready for the Red-Headed League investigation.
I only arrived at that room at around 4:45. So I quickly placed the body on the floor, moved the notice board, and set up my little candle trick. I arranged it so the firecrackers would go off with a bang around 15 minutes later.
So that Mr. Boone, who was due to arrive at 5, would walk straight into a trap.
Except, at the last moment, I made a careless blunder. What was that?
I imagine it was a bag of fish and chips.
That! I didn't notice it had fallen out of his overcoat pocket when I moved the body to the refrigeration room. I put it back in his pocket the following morning, but... well, it seems the warmth of the heated cabin had accelerated the decay of the fish. He was very smelly. Anyway, that's everything. All the sordid details of what I did.
Well, I think that definitively clears Von Zieks of any conviction, doubt that he would be the one who killed. He didn't.
Yeah, so you can let him go now, right?
I've heard enough. We've arrived at the truth about the murder of one of the country's most capable and respected police inspectors. The witness will be tried in the coming days. For a crime of such a vile nature, you can expect the most severe penalty.
An exchange of assassins. What a foolhardy idea.
Thanks, Train. Mr. Jikoku, one last detail. Who was your counterpart in Britain? Who was the mastermind behind the assassin exchange? I'm not telling you that. Nothing you say now could make matters any worse for you. Just tell us.
You don't know that. That could end up getting him killed.
Yeah. Enough! I've already told you that I cannot say.
Even though it's saying stand, you may very well never set foot in your homeland again.
What are you waiting for? Can't we get this over with now? Man, he must be really scared of this British counterpart. It's finished. All of it. I'm finished.
Then, in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I now pronounce the findings of this court. This man before us is admitted to the willful murder of Tobias Gregson.
That's a lot more fierce than it was before.
Seishiro Jigoku, it is the opinion of this court that you should be found.
Oof, that's the first time we've seen that, I think.
And may I remind all those present of the strict confidentiality demanded by this closed court. Moments ago, Mr. Jigoku signed a written confession, admitting to the murder of Inspector Gregson and the subsequent conveyance of the body. In short, the defendant's innocence has therefore been established beyond doubt.
Eat it, Kazuma!
Nerd.
Oh, wonderful. Well done, Miss Naruhodo.
Yes, thank you.
Is something wrong?
I'm just a little troubled by his silence.
The true identity of the Reaper of the Bailey, and this extraordinary assassin exchange. We do remain in the dark about these mysteries. However, insofar as the indictment brought against the defendant in this trial, we have reached a conclusion.
I have every intention of pursuing both mysteries. As a prosecutor.
As you wish. Now, for the formal adjudication. I hereby declare the defendant, Baruch von Zieks.
Objection.
Can you not?
Dang, we just almost got out.
The prosecution calls for adjudication to be deferred.
Counsel.
The accused's innocence hasn't been fully established at all. And therefore, it would be wrong to deliver a verdict at this time. That is the prosecution's unwavering position.
You still think he did it? What?
But Judge Jigoku has already confessed. Nevertheless, Baroque von Zieks has committed crimes for which he must be punished.
Well, it would appear you have information that the court needs to hear, Prosecutor Asogi.
Certainly, the murder of Inspector Gregson was actually carried out by Seishiro Jigoku. But it's clear from the witness's testimony that he was coerced into complying with the plot. Into the sick, merciless assassin exchange.
That may be true, but...
So what I want to know is, who coerced Jigoku? Who was pulling the strings? The victim went to France having been ordered on a mission for the Reaper, only to be murdered. In other words, the mastermind behind the assassin exchange is someone in a position to give such an order. As we've already established, the Reaper himself.
Well, certainly, that would appear to follow.
The prosecution hereby formally accuses the man in the dock, Baroque von Zieks, of being the Reaper of the Bailey, and furthermore, I'm going to prove his guilt beyond all reasonable doubt. Cool your jets there, Edgeworth.
What? Like, just wants to go home.
Order in the court! The Reaper of the Bailey is a long-standing mystery, Counsel. Are you suggesting you have some new information with which to build a case?
Scotland Yard has already investigated Lord von Zieks very thoroughly in that regard, and they found no evidence whatsoever to substantiate the claim that he is the Reaper. Perhaps, but circumstances have now changed.
What do you mean?
It's already been established that the assassin exchange was negotiated with Jigoku by the Reaper himself, which means we now have a new line of questioning by which to identify definitively the man's identity. That is the prosecution's intention here. I must say I'm surprised by quite how tenaciously you appear to want to besmirch my name. You are guilty of an unforgivable crime, Lord von Zieks. And I will bring you to justice for it, whatever it takes.
That explains Cosmo's silence before. We'll stop at nothing to finish what Lord von Zieks unwittingly started 10 years ago.
Very well. Whilst it's extremely irregular, I will, on this occasion, grant the prosecution further opportunity for witness testimony. The defendant will disclose any and all involvement he had with the Reaper and the Assassin Exchange.
I thank you, my lord, for guiding the court so wisely.
I hereby declare this court to be in session for a supplementary hearing.
Aw, I'm hungry.
Ryunosuke, we ate last night.
Oh, but I'm still hungry.
Actually, I'm hungry myself. Never mind.
That's a nice boot.
Pray turn a blind eye to the discourtesy as I verify this vile and unremitting accusation. Hasn't sourced the contents of my hallowed chalice. Soured, not sourced. Good lord, I can't read.
I think you're hungry, though.
I'm very I am hungry, too.
Not McDonald's. Lord von Zieks.
I want beef stew.
Beef stew with like a baked potato on the side.
Yeah, some butter,
Yeah,
some
nice.
cheese, maybe some bacon.
Mac and cheese on the side as well.
I first had to suffer the pseudonym of the Reaper 10 years ago now. And ever since that time, I've endured the weight of implied guilt that's gone with it. I'm getting very fed up. So I welcome the chance to testify now, and crush those allegations once and for all. Good. Then let justice decide, Lord von Zieks. No, he's not until Ace Attorney 4. The prosecution seeks to begin building its case by calling the accused to the stand as a primary witness. in order that he may answer the accusation brought by the prosecution that he is the Reaper of the Bailey.
And what says the defense? Aside from, I'm hungry.
Putting the defendant in the witness stand can be extremely dangerous. And Kazuma-sama is so emotional at the moment, he's not thinking logically.
You're right that he's not himself. But I knew it would be like this. And I came here today determined to face him through whatever might arise. As a lawyer, and as his friend.
Then that's what we must do.
The defense has no objections, my lord.
Very well. Defendant, you will take the witness stand and give formal testimony on the subject of your involvement with the Reaper and the Assassin Exchange.
As you wish, my lord.
What about Game Exchange?
Game Exchange?
Oh, that was the story that was here before. Before GameStop started popping up. It was around.
I've never taken the life of another, nor have I instructed another to kill. I've been investigating the truth behind the Reaper for years, and I was aware of Gregson's involvement. That's the reason why I went to Fresno Street that day, and how I came to discover the body. The point is, no common thread exists between myself, Gregson, and Dr. Wilson. Clearly, therefore, there's no reason to suspect me of being behind the Assassin Exchange.
How do you know of Mr. Wilson?
Because it's been brought up.
Oh. Oh yeah, that's true.
So you deny all accusations by the prosecution, both that you are the Reaper of the Bailey, and that you masterminded the Assassin Exchange.
I acknowledge that the public at large believe me to be the Reaper. However, that's a fallacy, which I alone am in a position to forswear. Naturally, the prosecution believes that testimony just given by the accused to be untrue. Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Yes?
Let me ask you, why are you here? What really brings you to this courtroom?
You were really, but I guess I like to see things being, I don't know. I decided to cover the truth.
Even if the truth proves your client to be guilty?
From all my experiences in this courtroom, I've come to realize something. The truth can't be hidden. Sooner or later, it will come out. So it's always my intention to work with my client in pursuit of the truth.
I want you to remember what you just said.
Enough dilatory chatter. Counsel for the defense, proceed to cross-examine the witness.
Bud, let me talk with my homie.
No.
Aye. Alright. Yes, my lord.
You can text him later.
Okay.
You
I
know,
exactly
the
what
turn of the
you think
century,
he
you can
does.
text him.
Oh yeah, that will be a thing soon.
No.
I know. No, it will. It will. First it's gonna be letters, like exchanging letters.
Wait,
and
yes,
stuff.
but texting is like a phone thing.
I'll write him later then.
Oh, there you go.
I know you're just waiting to point it out. The contradiction you're convinced lies somewhere within this man's testimony.
There is something. Statement 4. There's no common thread that exists between Von Zeeks, Gregson, and Wilson. But there is something.
Alright. Oh. Oh.
What is this? An autopsy report? Wait, this is 10 years old, from the autopsy of Lord Clint von Zeeks.
What? My brother's autopsy report? I'm pleased to see the defense doesn't intend to run from the undeniable truth.
Order in court. What reason do you have for presenting a 10-year-old autopsy report here, counsel?
The autopsy report of the professor's final victim is an undeniable link between Inspector Gregson, Dr. Wilson, and the defendant.
Not that accursed name again. The professor.
I personally researched all the court records relating to that case. I know that at the time, autopsy was considered sacrilege to the victims' souls. And for a member of the aristocracy like Clinton von Zeeks, it was unthinkable. But someone implored the powers that be to allow the autopsy to go ahead. Inspector Gregson. He declared that he was certain he would obtain conclusive proof from the procedure. And it was Dr. Wilson who conducted the autopsy. His signature is clearly visible in the document. As promised by Gregson, the autopsy did indeed produce evidence. Evidence that conclusively proved Genshin Asogi was guilty of the murders. In my brother's dying moments, he mustered all his remaining strength to leave that vital clue behind.
Indeed, that was the key to indicting the professor for his crimes, and the conclusive evidence that convicted him. It enabled Lord von Zeeks here to avenge his brother's senseless death, with a marvelous victory in court.
A marvelous victory, was it? I wonder if that's really true.
What?
Could the same be said if it turned out that the key piece of evidence in question was in fact fabricated? If the inspector, the coroner, and the prosecutor all colluded together to cast an innocent Japanese man as a mass murderer and send him to his death. That's outrageous! And now, 10 years later, for some reason, the secret has been threatened and needs protecting. Which is why the inspector and the coroner had to be silenced, isn't it? By someone in power in Japan and in Britain, using the two killers recruited for the assassin exchange.
Order at once!
10 years ago, my father was convicted in this very courtroom as a mass murderer, to be sentenced to death. But it was all a sham, and I swore to myself that I'd prove it. Which is why I had to come to Britain. Whatever the cost. Nice story, I don't care. You'll have to forgive me if I feel compelled to toast this vengeful Nipponese's tenacity of purpose here. However, he who fails to quash his emotions in the courtroom has failed as a lawyer.
Prosecutor. Come on, Cosmo, you know this won't wash. You're claiming your father was misrepresented in a trial that took place a whole decade ago. You must see that without evidence, that's nothing more than a wild accusation.
As it happens, I have evidence.
What?
As the court has heard, I crossed the channel to France with Gregson on the 31st. I went with him on the pretext of being the assassin recruit to kill Seishiro Jigoku. But my true intentions were to make the inspector tell me the truth. What truth? The truth about the evidence, and he acknowledged what I have already deduced. There's a closely guarded secret about what went on with the autopsy 10 years ago. What? A secret? I knew nothing of any secret. While we waited for my supposed mark in Jigoku's cabin, I drew my clan's illustrious sword, Karuma, before the inspector's eyes. He very quickly understood what my true motive was.
Right, I see. You're that Asogi's young lad, are you? And what? You're gonna cut me down with that thing? Is that it?
That will very much depend on the answers you give to my questions. I want to know what really happened 10 years ago. The truth. That's all.
Before we get into it, let me make one thing clear. I still believe your father was a professor. There's no doubt in my mind. But unfortunately, back then, we didn't have the evidence we need to make the crime stick.
So, you admit it then? The evidence used in my father's trial was fabricated?
It was for the good of the country. Anyway, I was just following orders.
Orders? What exactly did you do? Speak!
I'm not saying another word.
Even if your life depends on it?
That's right. Even then.
So that's when the tip of the sword broke.
Oh, Kazuma-sama. If the results of Clint von Zieks' autopsy were fabricated, then the investigating officer Gregson and the lead coroner Wilson must have known about it. And they can only have been ordered to pervert the course of justice in that way by one man.
You pervert!
The man leading the case for the prosecution, Baruch von Zieks.
In other words, the defendant did have cause to organize this exchange of assassins.
Exactly. And as was established earlier, it has to have been the Reaper himself who liaised with Jigoku in Japan to arrange the exchange.
Ah! He's not crazy.
So it follows that Reaper's true identity can only be that of the man who stands accused in this courtroom today, Baruch von Zieks.
Objection!
Kazuma Asogi.
What? What you've just told the court. Are you absolutely certain of your facts? Did Gregson really fabricate evidence for that trial 10 years ago? I heard it with my own ears. He's shameful admission. In that case, I know the name of the Reaper.
Oh.
So, Patu, think back. Do you remember who the prosecutor was supposed to be 10 years ago?
Clint, right? Wasn't it? Oh wait, no, it wasn't Clint.
No, because Clint was dead. Who
Yeah,
was the
it
prosecutor
it
for the professor
it
case?
was Yeah, it was Baruch, because...
No,
he was
Baruch
kinda,
took care of it. He wanted to do it, but who was originally the prosecutor?
Oh. I don't remember the name.
It's the judge right now. Male Strongheart.
Oh, wait, then that means that was right. He did
You
do
were
it.
dead on.
I knew it. I knew he was suspicious.
What?
Lord von Zieks.
I gave no such orders. I know that for certain. Which narrows down the remaining possibilities to one.
If Lord von Zieks isn't the one behind all this, then yes, there is only one person who could have done something like that. I believe I know who it is too.
You?
I just had a feeling that name was going to come up. I knew it! I totally knew it! The true identity of the infamous Reaper of the Bailey is...
Take that!
the only person who could have arranged the assassin exchange and manipulated the autopsy result. It's Lord Chief Justice himself, Lord Mel Strongheart.
What? Lord Strongheart?
Yes, it's true that 10 years ago the defendant handled the prosecution of the professor in court. But he only took over over the case after his brother, Lord Clint von Zieks, had been killed.
I can only assume that this is the most inappropriate joke in Brutus judicial history.
Well, Lord von Zieks?
10 years ago, I was very new to my profession, but I had a burning desire to avenge my brother's death, so I pleaded for control of the case. The investigation to that point, the supplication of the lords to allow my brother's corpse to be examined, all the evidence I was given, the autopsy reports, it all came from you. I spent my life since then believing I was in your debt for the way you stood aside and let me handle the trial. But I see now, I was very much mistaken.
It was a hugely influential force that caused the inspector and the coroner to break the law 10 years ago. And that same force was still felt a decade later on the other side of the world, by Seishiro Jikoku. Lord Strongheart, everything falls into place when we recognize that you are the Reaper of the Bailey. There it is.
The court awaits your response, my lord. This may very well go down in British judicial history, but I assure you, it is no joke. Consider this a formal accusal by the defense.
It doesn't warrant a response. A formal accusal? Don't be absurd. The defense's claims are utter nonsense. A wild fantasy at best.
Yeah, right. You're not going to defend yourself?
Please, I'm a prosecutor. How can I defend myself?
Oh, that's true, that's true.
You claim there was some wrongdoing with Lord Clint von Zieks' autopsy? That's utterly untrue.
Objection.
But I heard from Gregson's own lips. He admitted to it.
And where is your evidence?
What?
Gregson's dead now. Unless you were thinking of summoning a ghost to the stand.
No, that's not until later.
Oh yeah,
You-
that's true.
You mean to say...
I forget how the system works in your little backwater country. But in the courts of the British Empire, without evidence, there is no case. I have no intention of entertaining some wild fantasy that can't possibly be substantiated by anyone or anything.
Ah!
Silence! Following Inspector Gregson's murder, and in the light of Dr. Wilson's death as well, there's really no one left who could testify about the events of 10 years ago, is there?
You could.
So that was the real purpose of the assassin exchange. He's not going to.
Oh yeah, I know. But I'm just saying.
That'd be
there's no
that
one
would
to
essentially just be
testify.
him like, yeah, I do it.
The court has no business raking over the coals of a case that was concluded a decade ago. The accusal brought by the prosecution and the defense is categorically denied. I take it there are no objections.
Kazuma. He's more or less waited his whole life for this moment. Is there really nothing else we can do now? Is there no other avenue we can go down and pursue the truth about what happened all those years ago?
There is still one man.
There is?
Think. Who has been behind a lot and has kept things hidden from us, and
Oh yeah,
Iris.
Sholmes. Sholmes can.
Who is the actual protagonist of these games?
Oh, that's what you were meaning by that. Oh,
Nah,
okay.
it was more or less a joke of him being so, like, up on himself, but nah.
He's gone to extraordinary lengths to cover his tracks. Even so, as far as the dispatching an assassin all the way to Japan to ensure Dr. Wilson's silence. And Dr. Scythe won't say anything against Strongheart. But there is still one ray of hope.
Excuse me.
Actually, there is one person. One person who could still testify about that autopsy.
Don't be ridiculous. There's no one left. Who, Ryunosuke? Who? Tell me!
Kazuma,
Please. This trial can't end. Not yet.
I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it for the truth. The person the defense would like to call to the stand to testify about the autopsy of Lord Clint von Zeeks is...
Oh yeah, there's actually someone else. He was there with Wilson. He signed Wilson's name. It's Eugene.
Oh, I thought it was Sholmes.
I led you down that path because I was thinking a little bit too far ahead of things.
Oh.
Heaven
Okay.
help us, another Japanese.
An expert in forensic medicine, my lord, Professor Eugene Mikotoba, 16 years ago. He came to London with Seishiro Jikoku and Genshin Asuki as a visiting student.
And what could his testimony possibly tell us?
Professor Mikotoba was the primary assistant during the autopsy in question. He was also the person who actually penned the report.
Incorrect. The autopsy was carried out by the coroner, Dr. Wilson. The report carries his signature.
It was the primary assistant's duty to keep a written record of the coroner's work during the procedure. In actual fact, the coroner merely read over the report at the end and signed it.
In other words... Wow, that voice thing. Ugh.
You get
In other words. Yeah, I'm good. It's like, man, my voice broke when I said in other words.
Yeah, there
It's weird. In other words, Professor Mikotoba witnessed the entire autopsy from start to finish, man.
Oh, sorry!
Zoinks! The defense demands that Professor Mikotoba be summoned as a witness as a matter of urgency. Whatever really happened in that autopsy laboratory 10 years ago is something only he can tell us.
Nuh-uh.
Please.
The defense's demand is denied.
But, hey, that's not fair. Hey.
Because I said so.
But Professor Mikotoba is in London at this very moment. We could summon him to the stand in minutes.
No. Of course he's not going to agree to it. Strongheart has no intention of summoning anyone who knows.
Yep.
He's too concerned about protecting himself. Dagnabbit.
Prosecutor Asuki, let me refresh your memory, as you seem to have forgotten the prosecution's stance. Only minutes ago you accused the defendant of being the Reaper and of masterminding the assassin exchange.
I did, yes.
So present your evidence for those claims and make your case complete. Complete your path to the dark side. Wrong series.
Viggy, help!
No.
At this time, I don't have the requisite evidence. But that's exactly why we need witness testimony.
I don't believe you.
Oh no.
The professor case is
Oh, God.
closed. There are no clues in the distant past that will bolster your argument today. I'm afraid to say, Prosecutor Asuki, that you would appear to be possessed by the spirit of your late homicidal father.
Oh, you jerk. Okay. Fine.
Now, as I stated earlier, this court has already reached a conclusion with respect to the matter at hand. Inspector Gregson was murdered by Japanese Supreme Court Judge Seishiro Jigoku. As for any hidden circumstances that may exist, they will be investigated in due course by the proper authorities.
Objection.
We all know what will happen. That'll just give the mastermind of the whole venture time to cover his tracks again.
By which you mean me. Your punishment for this contemptible behavior will be decided at a later date. As for you, Prosecutor Asugi, you will be remanded following those proceedings, Willingly, I trust, since you gave your word. Ah! This futile game of revenge is over, young Master Asogi.
Oh no. Oh dear. No, we can't let this happen though.
That will be all. I hereby declare this trial to be over. Court is...
Hold it. Huh? Who's that?
Who indeed?
Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes!
This is no place for amateur detection, Mr. Sholmes. May I remind you that these proceedings are closed to the general public. You will leave the courtroom at once.
Objection!
Mr. Sholmes was instrumental in the apprehension of Seishiro Jikoku before he fled from Europe. The court should hear what he has to say.
Lord Mel Strongheart, it's imperative that you refrain from bringing this trial to an end at this stage.
Is it really? And why would that be?
You need only recall your own words from the opening of this trial to answer that question. If I may. We will stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth behind these disturbing findings. Surely it can't be that the shock of being accused of being the Reaper yourself has erased that from your memory, can it?
You can it! This whole truth, sir, has already been uncovered!
No, it hasn't. It would seem that we have a great many important members of the judiciary present here today. I put it to you, my dear fellows, should the trial end at this juncture? After all, why have you been invited to attend? To nod along to the prevarications of your superiors?
That's true.
Order in my court!
It seems to me that we stand before a door that leads to a new era of legal practices. A door that is ajar, and a jar that is a door. Wait, what? Let us emerge from the shadows of the Reaper's decade-long ancestry. For you and you alone, my dear fellows, have the power to push this door open now.
The auditors in the gallery have no rights to express an opinion of court proceedings. Silence!
He's right. The judge is absolute authority here. Yes, if he calls the trial to an end, it must end. But will that really do? I sense dark things occurring behind the scenes. Dark things indeed. Is there a single person here present who can honestly say he doesn't see the same?
What's...
The trial should go on. Summon the witness. That's right. We need to clear this up before that young Japanese fellow's remanded in custody. My lord, you assured those present that you would uncover the whole truth here. Well, vindicate yourself of this outlandish accusation. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That's the very foundation of British law. A toast to my dependable colleagues in the gallery.
Hey.
On with the trial! On with the trial! Testify! Testify! Well, my lord? I dropped my controller. Don't worry about it.
Whoops.
You hear the voice of British justice, I take it? I think you'll find it will be rather awkward to silence.
The court will recess briefly.
Why?
I have no intention of shrieking from these allegations. Bailiff, arrange for the subpoena of the witness at once. As soon as the gentleman arrives at the courthouse, we shall reconvene.
A recess won't be necessary, my lord.
Pardon?
Mikotoba's a close friend of mine. He accompanied me today in his wedding in the antechamber as we speak.
Hey!
I do believe he's been enjoying a little trip down memory lane, in fact. What? Professor Mikotoba's here in the courthouse?
Mr. Sholmes, you
I know. I'm really quite something.
didn't know this would happen, did you?
My dear fellow, no one is in a better position to answer that question than you, surely.
I wasn't just asking for the fun of it, you know.
Well, I must thank you for your assistance in this matter, Mr. Sholmes. However, you are of no further use here. Kindly leave.
But of course. In truth, I find myself rather busy now as a result of these developments. Miss Naruhodo,
Yes?
I trust you have Iris' little lucky charm with you.
Absolutely. It's still in my pocket.
She sends her regards, and a reminder. If you find yourself at a dead end, the ears are at your disposal. Just one tug, if you please. Not more.
Okay. Oh, of course.
In that case, the trial will continue without delay. Bailiff, show the witness to the stand.
My gosh! So it's Lord Strongheart. He's the Reaper of the Bailey. Where exactly is this trial going to take me, I wonder? Just how deep am I about to be plunged into the blackness of the abyss? Will I emerge as Batman? Well, I'm ready. I'm ready to head into the heart of this maelstrom and confront whatever horrors it tries to drown me under.
The heart of the maelstrom, huh? Lord Maelstrom Heart? Maelstrom Heart? Heart of the Maelstrom?
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that is true, isn't it?
It sure is.
Maelstrom Heart. Yeah.
Well, one more episode, and then these chronicles will be resolved. So, thank you all so much for watching. Do the things, and be with us tomorrow for the finale of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.